Welcome to Console Me Gaming Podcast.
No, it's Console Me.
Oh, for God's sake. Console Me. Oh,
Right.
Welcome to Console Me Gaming Podcast, your premier podcast to do with console gaming. I'm Craig.
I'm Gary.
Mark.
Irvin, our audio guy. If there's ever a week where he's not here, you won't hear us, so we won't be doing it. All right, first we'll get into news in gaming. It's going to be very broad because obviously it's December. We've all been doing our own stuff for Christmas, so it's just a loose list of things that have happened over the last while to get into it. First, I wanted to mention Rocket League, which for us, PlayStation, I think it was only PS4, I think.
It was PS4, yeah.
And Steam.
Yeah,
And Steam, yeah. And PS Plus, though, it was free as well. But they have apparently made 25 times their budget back with this. And it was a side project because the studio themselves they do work with other studios, and they've actually managed to make 25 times their budget. It's at 50 million, and it's not even on Xbox yet, is it?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, Mark is our Xbox guy.
Game.
So.
Yeah. No, it's strange to think that it is a sequel to a game, and the like the original had this amazingly titled thing. It's rocket propelled cars that go really, really fast and hit balls.
But yeah, it was
something stupid like that. But
you can sell that.
But I love the idea that this studio, like, they're going to get enough. They're probably getting enough money off this to fund their own next project, and it can have even bigger scope as well. But hitting that as well as a game that was essentially free on PS Plus as well.
Yeah.
For the first month was amazing, and like you said, it's not even out on Xbox yet, so it's going to be excellent.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a Games for Gold thing?
Not straight away. I don't imagine that. I mean,
It's got too much of a name now.
Is it going to reach platinum?
It could.
It could.
Coming out for PS2. Yes!
Let's make the box look terrible, and it'll cost you 20. The other one, Mark, this is an Xbox exclusive with ReCore, and ReCore has now been delayed.
Yeah, I know. That's a shame, but
Sad Mark.
How are you into? Are you? This is from one of the people behind. This is from the guy behind. This is Inafune, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the studio. It's
behind
studio
Metroid
Prime.
Yeah, and you loved Metroid
It's
Prime.
one of my favorite games.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this game? Have you been excited about it?
I'm extremely excited about it, but we've only had a few conceptual images in that
And the CG
trailer.
initial trailer, yeah.
I like the idea behind it. There's no story behind it yet, so I don't know where it's going to go. So with games, I find it difficult to get excited purely off of a trailer because I've been let down in the past. But
That never happens. I'm so hurt.
But I'm very excited for what it could be because the studio behind it is stellar. So
Yeah.
Is it an indie game? Is it going to be treated as an indie? Is it like?
respect.
Is it going to be a very short game with?
No,
Is it
no,
quite it's a massive project.
It's a big project. I mean, it's not a flagship game, but it was originally key to be quite a significant thing for the Xbox. But it's just been in a bit of a development cycle, pushing it back.
It's been in limbo since E3, really.
Exactly.
We haven't really heard much about it.
Well, it was announced a long time ago that the studio was making another game, but what it was actually going to be wasn't revealed until, like you said, E3. It being delayed isn't a bad thing. There's plenty of other things to look forward to, and nice to see how it develops.
But it's also good just seeing, this has become more of an apart thing. Well, take their time now instead of just rushing it out,
Yeah. Especially with some games becoming annualized.
Yeah.
It's refreshing when they just take their time with something.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Machines, they're learning,
It's good
Craig.
to see Assassin's Creed's taking a break for a year.
Yeah, no, I'd agree that's good. I mean, Syndicate is the best one in a long time.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with it, but
It's 5 games too late.
so I'm not worried about them taking a year off. But if that year off is for Watch Dogs 2, I couldn't care less.
Okay.
I'm quite excited about the potential of Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah. No, Watch Dogs 1 was okay, but
Mark clearly agrees with that laughter.
Clearly,
it's a very positive response.
Yeah, no, look, I enjoyed it, but
You can't see it, but Mark has a Watch Dogs tattoo.
Yeah.
I do not. don't start these things.
But like you've said before, it's the fact that Ubisoft always have like the first game is based much just finding their feet with like whatever engine, whatever property they've got, and then the second one is where they just really refine everything.
Yeah.
But it's when they ask money for that said finding feet.
It's like
Find their feet, can we get money?
we made the engine, make it look pretty. That's one. Part 2, let's make something.
Let's make a game.
I loved this tech demo. Assassin's Creed was the best tech demo I ever played.
Assassin's Creed was good for its time.
Oh, it was good. It was very good. Irvin, you've said that's your favorite before, haven't you?
I think so. In terms of like setting and scale, it's
I love the idea behind the game.
Yeah.
It's just never really properly got into.
Yeah.
First time you
it's
started
the
climbing
best.
around and you realised you could just climb anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mental.
And all the flags, collect the flags.
But the fact that it was actually Israel that you could explore, there were the transition zones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horses. Riding horses.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm not
your
being sarcastic.
that's your not sarcasm.
Real horses.
You're going to realise you're not going to be able to understand Irv's tone at any point. He's a wild
You need,
card.
you need
an
to see
enigma.
his face.
It's always manic. The next news item I thought might be good to talk about is the possible. To be honest, I'm not sure if there's going to be a lot behind this because I think they've actually been wrong with this before. But Amazon France have said that Doom is coming out June.
Yeah, the leaked release, possible leaked
June
release.
30th.
June 30th, yep.
But there's
how excited are you for Doom? Mark, look, I'm going to ask you first. I'm looking past that Watch Dogs face tattoo you have.
Which is just dogs with a Z.
I know.
With binoculars.
No, it's a gigantic W he's got over his eye. It's like a cable thing.
I'm glad you can all agree.
It's an optical illusion that changes depending on what angle you look at it from. But as a fan of sci-fi, and
I'm extremely excited. I mean, I was baptized in fire when it came to the original Doom. Like, my dad let me play it without. I don't think he ever got past the first level, so he never really realized what I was playing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm I mean, more the gore for the time, but still, I've
all
got
those red blocks, Mark.
I do love Doom, and Doom 3 was fantastic when it came out.
Yeah.
The actual Doom 3, not the sequel to Doom 2.
Yeah.
But no, Doom 3 was great. So the new Doom, I'm excited for
Yeah.
because it looks like a proper Doom.
Yeah, and they've taken their time. Well, they completely redeveloped it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had an idea for Doom, and then they went back and redid it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm wondering. I need to see more of it because
Exactly. It's another thing where
Yeah.
I'm not overly excited about it because I've not seen much
'cause-
past that. What essentially related to a tech demo. I mean,
What was the game they had before? What was the one?
What
I'm trying
about
to
the
think of?
story, though?
The one where they
Doesn't need a story,
The one that was
Doom.
kind of like their attempt to like a
Demons on Mars.
What was there one that was a Borderlands style game before this?
Oh, Rage.
Raid, which
Oh, yeah.
it didn't really pan out for them so well, and apparently had glitches everywhere. Also, Doom 3, the whole thing where you're a super soldier and you can't hold a torch and a gun at the same time, really,
Which was corrected.
annoyed me. Yes.
Yeah.
But
One hand at a time.
that, like I said, that was corrected.
Yeah.
That was part of the issue with Doom 3 was it was trying to be more of a horror game.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing it, I don't know, I was a nipper.
And you love horror as well.
Yeah, I did love horror as well, and it was a scary game.
Yeah.
But then you realize you're just playing Doom, so you should play it like Doom.
Yeah.
And it became a completely different game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's doom this.
Exactly.
That should be its catch line.
Let's do this.
Let's just doom this.
But no,
Don't do anything recklessly.
excited for Doom.
Yeah. Yeah. Doom should be good.
You need to do that with everything in life, Craig, whenever you're presented with something at
Doom
work.
it.
Let's doom this. Then I'll lose my job a week later. He's just so reckless. It's like he's playing Doom. I wanted to summarize this into a news thing because we're hearing a lot about this right now, but there's loads of rumors that apparently Nintendo obviously have fallen quite far behind. Considering
The handheld market, they're still.
handheld market, they are.
They've
but
dominated
they're
for
leveling
years.
out the sales on that,
Yeah.
as it would. But that's because they stick with it. Like, look at the difference between the Vita and the DS. The Vita was left behind almost
Yeah.
immediately, and
Well, the
development
Vita's been sent out on a Viking longboat on fire. It's been given its
into the
Viking.
digital sea, and the. Well, the DS, they were persistent with it. It had a bad launch, but they kept sticking with
Yeah,
3DS.
and it worked.
It made up for it. It worked.
DS,
Yeah.
Didn't need
Lite.
Patrick Stewart telling me about brain training for this one. But the NX, they're talking about it being already in the almost the manufacturing stage now, and then it being released this year, and then them revealing it before E3.
It depends where they're going with it. I mean, because the GameCube was a powerhouse at its time. It was more powerful than
The
Xbox and the PS2.
And they did put a lot of like remember the Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
go into that and everything.
The GameCube was fantastic.
Yeah.
So the issue with the Wii was they focused too much on their peripherals. And not on the power. So in time it lost out because as
everyone loves motion controls, you're like, oh.
well, PS3 made that mistake as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as
the central gimmick. Yeah.
As the development progressed, they realized the Wii just doesn't have this power. So that's why the Wii U came out. And now, obviously, we're on to the next generation. It's already behind. So the technology is there. So if this new console is on par with the PS4 and the Wii, so PS4 and the Xbox One, then I think it has the potential to at least claw their way back into the market.
Nintendo might actually, you know how they've always done it? They always do their own thing. They always do. Do you think they're actually going to move towards the PC architecture the way the Xbox and the PlayStation kind of did? Do you think that's the only way they can go, really?
It is the kind of sort of feature for the market.
There's a lot of talk, though, that it could be something like as in a handheld...
Oh, that works.
And console meld. Like, I'm not sure
like the Wii
U. Not graphically, we're talking here. No, this is the best PS2 game I've ever seen.
Well, no, I mean, the Wii U, you had your controller, which had everything in it. You could then go and play it on the toilet. The greatest development in gaming.
This is sitting on sitting on the toilet, just going,
people
smashed him. Wow.
People have been playing this all wrong. Why are they doing it from the toilet?
But yeah, I mean,
poor player can only be done in the house with 4 toilets. That'd be glorious.
It's an interesting bit of news, but that really is. It's an interesting rumor, but that really is all it is.
Yeah,
we don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's
hopefully it's a way for Nintendo to claw their way back into the
claw back.
Well, they need to.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're always going to sell Zelda games. They're always going to sell Mario games,
but they're for children.
Yeah.
Shut up, Irv. But.
Irv, lower your own mic.
Like I don't think Nintendo's ever going to die, as it were. But
they could always make so much money, even if they just became a software developer.
Yeah, but in order to compete, to keep these things going and be the Nintendo of old, they need to change with the times.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to come
especially when that rumor. I need to turn my mic up. I did that thing as a good boy. Yeah, but
thank you.
They were going to go that way, and if Sega come up.
Are you talking about the Dreamcast 2?
Yay!
Steambox Plus.
Steambox was an interesting experiment as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we do the Dreamcast podcast.
Yeah, but the thing I've actually always admired about Nintendo as well is the fact that they've always kind of just developed games for like
their own market.
Yeah, just their kind of own market, and they're just for fun, and they don't release. They don't chuck games out like it's like, okay, this game needs to be released by this date.
Yeah.
They take their time with their games, and they make sure that they have like
New Zelda, for example.
High end quality products when they ship it out.
That is true, but the only issue is it's biting them in the ass because they can't keep up with releases. They have a very infrequent release schedule, so it's kind of about finding that balancing act.
Yeah.
But maybe blending in with...
But bring it onto par with the other consoles so that third parties can get more involved would be a smart move.
A big step,
Because because you had Black Flag came out for the Wii U, didn't it? But that's because that was cross-generation. That was still in the 360, so...
Yeah.
It needs the power to have the raw power to have the staying power.
Yeah,
it's still amazing when you see like how things still got developed for like the Wii U, like Arkham City. I was like, wow, they actually made that for the Wii.
But it was so long after.
Yeah.
It was.
So Watch Dogs.
It was clever though. Like Arkham City was really good on the Wii U. It was the whole thing about you had pretty much your inventory was like right in front of you on the screen, so stuff like that, so you could quickly select it.
So you could select your inventory from the toilet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
now I'm Batman.
I've been quitting my sticky grenades. I don't know who I'm throwing in that.
Time management, that's what it is. Yeah, and Marty, this is like this is the first Nintendo console, the Nintendo Wii U. Isn't that the first Nintendo console you haven't owned?
Yeah, I haven't got a Wii U yet. I mean, I do want to get one at some point. There's things on it that I want to play, but it's the same thing. It's just left everything behind. I mean, I like Mario games, but they're not my main focus. It's always Metroid and Zelda with me, and there's not been a release on the Wii U, so
Yeah, exactly.
I have no reason. Like Smash Bros is great.
That's why you didn't get the Nintendo face tattoo. You've only got the Xbox one with the X over your eye.
How many face tattoos do I have? I can't see.
It's a rich canvas. It's a busy Pollock painting on there. It's just.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a Nintendo fanboy for life, but
Yeah.
it has
He's got that on his arse.
console-wise.
Boom.
They have dropped off the radar just now. I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a Wii U because the new Zelda was going to be
On it.
But we don't know now.
But exactly. So
Yeah.
I'll pick one up when it's reduced, and
Exactly.
because I've got every other console. Why not?
Need to complete the set. I can't wait till Mark's got his TV on a 20-foot high TV stand that's got every console filled into it. As he's
It's
on
the
a chair
dream.
that can
It's
be,
the dream.
as he's on a drawing room chair that can be elevated to 20 feet.
While he's playing the games on the toilet.
My chair is a toilet.
Mark's dream room. I'm going to draw this, and that'll be the thumbnail.
Moving swiftly on.
No. I wanted to talk about the Oculus price point that came out as well, because Oculus is the main VR headset. We've got a few VR headsets, but Oculus is the focus. It's the one that started it.
That's the pioneer. Yeah.
It's the one that has the most. It's the most backed. It's going across. That's the thing. The PlayStation 1 exists, but it's for PlayStation. It's a peripheral. This is being seen as almost a platform.
Yeah.
That exists within
Yeah.
everything else,
Yeah.
and it'll work with. It's the Xbox. It's essentially the one that's going to be the Xbox choice model.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also
I was
working with
trying to
PC.
remember what the Microsoft, what its own one was called again. Was it the hologram? No, they had a specific one, and it was all about virtual OS and stuff.
but but now
But-
Xbox is
yeah.
lined up with Oculus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just development life cycles
Yeah.
way too long.
Because there's HTC ones and everything.
Yeah,
The HTC
yeah.
one has a really interesting thing where the space
there?
around you gets.
There's a Google one as well. There's
Yeah.
Google Cardboard.
Also Facebook.
And Google Glass, that just went
Also,
Yeah, I mean, Google
Yeah.
Glass will come back because it's
the first
It's-
version 1.
well, that's
Yeah.
that's real world. That's not
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not related to gaming. Google
Yeah,
Glass
yeah.
will come back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as because this Google Cardboard, it's a cardboard box. You stick
Oh,
your
it's
phone in.
amazing.
It's
So
great. Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But everyone's taking their own steps into VR.
yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook's behind Oculus as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another big one because that's the biggest. That's one, if not the biggest company in the world that's behind it. So
Sorry.
why are you laughing?
Facebook. Sorry.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Mark loves Facebook. It's one of his other face tattoos. The F that goes around his ear.
Yeah. And the big thumb on his chin.
My face is going to be a really disappointing reveal.
That's why we're audio for just now.
Face and arse. That's all he's got.
Yes, no Toshiba tattoo.
What? Front and back, people. Never the sides.
So yeah, the point is it's expensive.
Yeah. Well, Mark, you like the
$600 bills, y'all.
Mark, you like the new shinies more than anyone. Would you pay 600? Well, we're gonna say there's gonna be $500 to £600
It's $600, so
$600.
it's going to be at least 600 quid.
because of the way that the exchange rate works here.
No, I'm like I don't think I'd buy that.
You could get all the Wii's for that money. So.
I could get a PS4 for that, and
Yes, you
right now
could.
I'd rather have a PS4.
Yeah,
Good
but that's
man.
the thing. It's
So I could get two PS4s for that as well.
and again, it's the software that kind of defines something. And right now, we've not really got anything that's.
Is anyone-
Yeah.
sell it.
is anyone-
the developer kit was what, $200?
Yeah.
$300?
Has anyone
Yeah.
anyone tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The Oculus, yeah.
I tried the developer kit. My friend
Yeah.
had one.
I've had a shot at the developers kit as well, and it's a novelty
Part-
thing. Yeah,
Part
it's,
of that is to do with the quality of the software that was
Yeah,
produced
yeah,
at that time
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was being developed. But
Yeah.
It'll be different when the full model comes.
Yeah,
out,
definitely.
So
But
I'm gonna-
I'm excited to see where it goes. But I mean, I just feel like it's just a novelty. It is like motion
Excited
controls.
to see where it goes. It's only goes visual puns or things.
visual
Probably
puns
fun.
that you can't see.
Yeah.
I have not used it, but I assume it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
fun. It's fun.
virtual reality. It's
Yeah.
exactly what you expect it to be. It's the
Yeah.
same as the VR headsets they had 15 years ago.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm never going to play a horror game with that thing on my head.
Yeah.
I'll be
They're
terrified.
great. They're great.
They are.
No, never touching it.
Yeah.
They made one of the main things I wanted to talk about with news was Kojima. Obviously, I think
Who's
this
that guy?
That man.
Hideo Kojima.
He's from Japin.
Obviously, famous producer, mind behind Metal Gear.
Yep.
And Metal Gear.
C-3PO's red arm.
Yeah. And Zone of the Enders, which me and Gary hold very dear.
Yeah, we do.
Me too.
And Mark.
Mark.
With that Zone of the Enders tattoo. Jehudi. But well, I think this was a lot of talk is that this was supposed to be the Video Game Awards reveal, but he wasn't allowed to say anything because of his contract.
Yeah.
Because his contract was December 13th, I think it went up, and he straight away announced that he is teaming up with Sony to do an exclusive. Well, the thing is, his studio is not. This is the thing. I looked up the details for this, and Kojima Productions is its own studio.
Yep.
It is going to be treated as a second party, I think. So basically, Sony owns the franchise, I think, and will be producing it. They will be releasing it. But he has control of everything as it's developed, and they will fund him a significant amount because his team's quite small right now, even though he did say he'll expand. So it's essentially going to be treated the same way Quantic Dream is with Heavy Rain and all of their games going forward.
Jason!
And Beyond, and obviously Detroit going forward. So they're being treated the same way as that. So it's essentially it's not being, not like Naughty Dog with a parent company and a subsidiary.
Yeah.
So he's getting a lot of freedom, gets to produce his game, they're giving him the money to start off because this is his first venture. But I really don't think Hideo Kojima will struggle.
No, he will not.
Who's this guy? I'm not going to back him.
It's not a blind investment, no.
No, really not.
Yeah.
And he said franchise, which was an interesting choice of words. Mark rolling his eyes because he can't play it yet.
Yeah.
Not with all those eye tattoos.
Can't see a thing. But the idea is developing a full franchise is quite interesting.
Yeah, no, like I've been an absolutely huge fan of Kojima's work.
You're obsessed with Kojima.
I'm obsessed with
Kojima. I think you've completed every Hideo Kojima game. Because you've done all the Zone of Enders, you've done all the Metal Gears, including the SNES ones.
Yeah.
And
Nintendo. Driving Force.
Yeah.
Zone of Enders, Metal Gears. I haven't done any of his older stuff, like Snatcher and Police.
Did he?
Knots.
Yes, Police Knots. I was going to say. But no, it's very exciting to see what could happen. But I think it's a Kojima game. It's going to be like 5 years until we see it.
Yeah,
I know. But I mean,
comes to PS6.
And everyone's still reeling from PT.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That was a shot to the nuts.
It was a shot to the nuts.
Mark, what's PT? I bleed green, not blue.
Pizza time.
Player 2.
All these notes in front of him.
But yeah, that was a really
for all we know, he'll just do the same thing with a different name.
Because there was that rumor for a time that Microsoft was going to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been glorious.
Would have been great. Mark,
well, if Sony doesn't want it, then
finger. But
yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know who's. Yeah, we also don't know who's leaving Konami because apparently there's a lot of people going to leave Konami to go with him. So
we'll
wait and see.
We still don't know the reasons behind.
Well, I mean,
he's not allowed to. The contract said he's not allowed to discuss it.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Like, there's always going to be two sides to every story, and
it's clear that Konami are wrong.
Yeah, we're getting this really negative image of Konami, which is probably
true.
A lot of
probably true.
They're a studio. I mean, you can't. The problem is Kojima's a face. It's one person you can relate to.
Yeah,
battling against.
A
company.
Yeah, and it's also in the light of what they've said they're going to do going forward.
You can't colour this fight with your words, Mark.
Yeah.
You can't do this with reason. But it's in the wake of them saying what's happening going forward, which is Konami apparently are moving away from typical game development.
Yeah.
But other than their big franchises.
Yeah, apparently
Metal
Gear, Silent Hill.
That's it.
Pachinko machines.
Yeah, it's going to be moving.
Zone of the Enders 3.
Never.
Oh,
I've already killed that one.
Like when we were all talking about PT, we were like, oh my god, we're never going to get to see Silent Hill and stuff like that. And it clicked in my head, it's like, we're never going to get Zone of Enders 3.
No.
Damn it.
He'll just call Enders of Zones or something.
Yeah. But yeah,
no,
so like part of me was always wondering if if obviously the whole falling out was basically Kojima was like, okay, I need this amount of money and this amount of time to make this game, and then developing it, he's like, okay, I need a bit more money and a bit more time and stuff like that, and then Konami's just like,
You're talking specifically about Metal Gear.
Yeah, pretty
5,
much
yeah.
Metal Gear 5. So it's pretty much like
he's draining their money.
Yeah, stop wasting. Well, not wasting our money, but like stop spending all our money and get that game out, and. But then all the other stuff of like pretty much like their offices and everything.
Their business,
their offices like being monitored and emails and stuff like that. It's just it's not painting a pretty picture.
It's all speculation. We can't. There's no point in discussing it. In too much depth. It's not. It's not an amicable split, but it could be beneficial for where Kojima can go.
Yeah, exactly.
And how much did Phantom Pain make?
Not as much as it cost.
Yeah, probably not.
But that's very good reasoning.
With all the Red Arm special editions.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense for people that would think with their brain. But as a man who thinks with his heart, I think it was much like a soap opera, and I think he fell in love with the daughter of the president of Konami. But he didn't want them to be together, so that led to the split.
Juliet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened.
Star-crossed lovers.
Spots cannot be with stripes.
I can back it up with opinion. But yeah, no, that leads us to the end of Das News. Mark, you wanted to mention...
Just mention that, because I finished watching it last night, the Awesome Games Done Quick, if anyone does know, great speedrunning event, week-long event, speedrunning every game you can imagine. Fantastic to watch, but this year raised over $1.2 million towards cancer research.
Which is amazing,
Which is fantastic. And they did the coveted reverse boss order run of Super Metroid, which was intense because it's never been done live before. It's always been done using Tazbot, which is tool assisted speedruns. So like breaking the games, because
that's what
it's the only way you should be able to do it.
They found a way.
The guy that did it, I mean, on the edge of the seat. I mean, because you go and fight Ridley first, which is
the hardest.
But it's the hardest, but it's also the point where you're going into Norfair, which is the lava world, without the suit that protects you from heat, so you're constantly losing health. So the battle against Ridley on the edge of the seat, and he literally finished it with about 10 health left before health appeared on screen.
Yeah,
to keep him alive. So it almost ended the run.
Yeah,
like as soon as he started.
Yeah. So that was the high point for me.
He's done a first, and as well as that, they did so much good for charity. So they deserve a single clap. Thanks, guys.
Off-time clap.
Yeah. Well, me and Mark were on.
So
I didn't have enough time to ready my arms.
Mute his mic so no one can hear his claps.
The VODs will all be on YouTube as well, so it's worth checking out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
So all the credit to them.
Yes.
Also, so then again, going forward, since this is the first episode, and also to kind of look back at the year and also see what we can look forward to going forward.
Yep.
Looking back, we were going to say, what was your favorite game of the last, or favorite games even of the last year?
2015.
Of 2015, if we timestamp this.
Yeah,
let's start with there.
There was a lot of really good games this year.
There's also a lot of games that we were looking forward to that will now be next year's best games.
Pretty much. So the end of this discussion, we've got a lot to talk about. But personally for me, like you said, absolutely huge Metal Gear fan, and I was so excited.
So it was Battlefront?
Yeah, Battlefront was my favourite. No. So huge fan of Metal Gear, and so excited for 5 coming out, and when 5 finally came out, finally came out, it's my game of the year. I have lots of problems with the game, but it's not gameplay. The gameplay in that game is outstandingly good.
So it's the polar opposite of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, pretty much. It is the polar opposite of Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, I was sitting watching Metal Gear Solid 4.
Interactive movie.
With my jaw on the floor.
Press X. It's been 2 hours. I was not ready.
Yeah, jaw on the floor the whole time, taking in the whole story. And the story for Metal Gear 5, though it fits into the universe, it's not as Metal Gear as it can be.
It's not convoluted enough.
I don't know. Metal Gear 4 I thought was good. It showed me how to cook eggs at the time when I was learning. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at those eggs. Look almost real.
Yeah.
Man, I want eggs.
the gameplay in that game is probably like the best gameplay I've ever played in any game. Just like giving you this.
That is a bold statement.
It's a sandbox.
Yeah, big, massive.
That is a very bold statement.
Yeah, it is a very bold statement, and I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. Did you play much multiplayer?
I played a wee bit of it.
Is it broken?
It's interesting. It's fun. Yeah.
It's a good way to describe it.
Interesting
and fun.
Interesting and fun. But like the main like meat of the game is just that big open sandbox, and you get all these different kind of missions to do,
which you can do differently each time.
Differently each time, and you can like the whole mother base situation as well. Like I was coming away from that game thinking it's like, okay, so I need this amount of GMP to unlock this thing, so I need to recruit these types of soldiers,
which amounts to this much hours or this much cutscenes in old Metal Gear terms.
Yeah. So it had me constantly thinking about like stuff, and like the story did just take a back seat with it. But, like when there was story moments, it was good, and the big twist at the end is it's a Kojima-esque.
The story wasn't finished though, was it? The story wasn't genuinely finished.
That's one of my big problems with it was the fact that there was cut content, and that's what we were saying about Konami basically pushing this game out the door.
Also, Metal Gear's typically been a very like I've played Metal Gear. I've not properly finished it, but I've been doing all the side missions and stuff as well.
5.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
And or have you
played Ground Zeroes, but
Well, the issue is that he's for a long time Kojima's been able to tailor this story, particularly with 4 because it was one big cutscene.
Yeah.
But if it's as soon as it's open world, that changes the pace of things.
Yeah.
If you're a person like me who wants to do all the side missions first to get ahead, you're waiting a long time before you hit the next part of the story.
Yeah.
And that comes inherently with.
I just love you. Just like story starts here. Yeah.
Running in the opposite direction.
I'm gonna go kidnap people for 12 hours. I'm a monster.
Sorry.
Craig loves the grind.
Yeah. And then, but that's the thing, that inherently comes with open world games.
Yeah.
But does it suffer because of that? It's weird. It's kind of like its biggest strength, but also it does.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to gameplay, that does making it a sandbox and giving you all these options does significantly add to the gameplay. But it does also hinder the story to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, like as a really hardcore Metal Gear fan, like I did want the story to be like this. If it was going to be Kojima's last one, as like his swan song sort of thing. I just wanted it to be this epic, like tying absolutely everything together in this nice and neat little package. And then Kojima's like, there you go, do whatever the fuck you want with this franchise. Sorry, I swore.
You're a monster. Plus, we can't trust what you think. You said yourself you're a hardcore fan, so you've already been indoctrinated by Kojima. So you can't believe anything you say.
And you pretty much did that before, even though you watched it. But
even though you watched it, but it was good.
I know. It was very good. They pretty much tied every loose end in.
Yeah.
But would you say it's the best? Where does it stack in Metal Gears then? Would you say it's the best Metal Gear?
It's not the best Metal Gear, but it's the best gameplay out of any Metal Gear by far.
Better than Snake Eater.
I was going to say that. I think that's the best Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear 3, yeah.
Snake Eater.
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid's my favourite, but Metal Gear 3 is probably the better game.
Would you say nostalgia is a big part of that, though?
Yeah.
As far as Metal Gear is
definitely.
I like Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes. Twin Snakes is hated now, though. When people look back on Twin Snakes, they generally don't like it.
Really?
Compared to the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, Twin Snakes isn't that great.
Well, yeah, but you're comparing it to something else.
Yeah, no, but it's like there was that two big remakes that the GameCube took on, which was Resident Evil and Twin Snakes, and like
the cutscenes are mental.
Yeah,
but Twin Snakes is a faithful.
It is faithful.
The first person
to
game's
the
considered
degree
to
of
break it though to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I still think it's quite good, other than the over the top cutscenes.
Yeah, no, it's just given 1 the gameplay and the graphics of 2. So yeah, Metal Gear, that was mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark, I'm going to ask you because we've all got PlayStations and you have an Xbox, so you've got a completely different pool of games to pull from. Plus, PlayStation did not have a great year compared to... Well, that's the thing. Xbox this year had more exclusives, and as well as that had one of its big flagship exclusives, and next year it actually has a few things coming as well. So it's actually a really interesting time to have an Xbox.
It's always an interesting time to have an Xbox.
That's what someone with an Xbox tattoo would say anyway. How can you see through those eyes? But yeah, so it's quite interesting here because I think you've actually had, and as well as that, I think you've been actively playing games all the way through the year between Destiny. So it's interesting to hear what your top game or games would have been this last year.
I know your top game.
Top game of the year. A few weeks ago, I would have said Destiny, the Taken King.
But
because of what it did to Destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Destiny because it's the kind of game I've been looking for a long time.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I understand everyone's complaints and the issues with it, but to me, it's fantastic. I've not been bored of it. But the Taken King rectified a lot of the issues with it and brought it.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah. Brought it forward. But the problem with it now is the whole DLC cycle that they started with is unsustainable. So they had the 2 big content releases of Dark Below and the House of Wolves, which I both loved. I mean, I thought everything,
but it wasn't the sweeping changes that
it's not as significant as Taken King, but
yeah,
in hindsight, like, you can say that. But at the time, I thought they were brilliant. They advanced what story there was within the game, and like, I thought it was great. Taken King turned everything on its head and, delivers arguably the best raid, one of the best gaming experiences you'll ever have in a first-person shooter. Actual story, character performances.
Yeah.
It's still got its issues, of course. But then that's all we've had for months now. I mean, we got the Fest of the Lost, which was nice. Got Sparrow Racing League, which was ace, but gimmicky at the end of it. And now Bungie have gone radio silent until the end of January. So, I mean, you still get Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, all that cycling, which is great. Keeps me coming back to it. But
there isn't this expectation coming until the next game so far.
Yeah, as far as game of the year for me goes, it's not quite there anymore.
But that's because you've had, like you said, this is a game that is reliant on how it lasts, and how it keeps going,
and it's still got my attention. I mean, it's a game I play every week. Game, obviously not every day, but
used to be every day.
But it's the game I always come back to, and I can see myself sticking with it for the 10 years. So, like, everything Bungie are doing are great. I mean, they're taking their first steps into this essentially a whole new style and genre of game, and they're doing great. Recently picked up Tomb Raider,
which is interesting because Gary is a huge Tomb Raider fan, has finished every Tomb Raider, and can't play the new Tomb Raider.
I cannot play this one.
So this is where you get to stick it to Gary.
So
well, Gary, this thing is amazing.
It's unbelievable. I recently picked up Tomb Raider and got Assassin's Creed Syndicate for Christmas. By far the best Assassin's Creed game since Brotherhood for me.
Black Flag, Brotherhood I thought was the best as well.
Black Flag was great, but it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. So it was Pirate Ship Simulator.
It was Sid Meier's
Pirates 3D.
Murderer Edition.
But the characters, everything in Syndicate is fantastic. Best Assassin's Creed game since Brotherhood, and I love it. But since then I picked up Tomb Raider. Technically I'm playing it in 2016. But
it came out
on reflection.
On reflection,
it is a 2015 release.
2015 release.
We're going the Oscar system here.
But on reflection of the year, it's the best game of the year for me. Still haven't played The Witcher. I've seen Metal Gear Solid 5, but I'm not bothered too much about it as far as I'm concerned. But Witcher 3 is the one thing that was, it could be a possibility to beat it. But Tomb Raider, everything about Tomb Raider is great. Takes everything from the last one
and strengthens
it.
Awesome.
There's not a poor moment in it.
I'd probably say the reboot was probably my favorite Tomb Raider. It was just handled so well.
I agree.
I still haven't played it, and I really need to.
Absolutely gorgeous game. It takes all the things from Uncharted and Prince of Persia and all that, and it puts it into a perfect game with an extremely strong female lead.
I
mean,
iconic female lead as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, Lara Croft is iconic, but she's never been a particularly strong character in any of the games, except for the previous two, the origin story. But this game just takes everything and moves it forward.
Well, the change they did to Lara was it was needed.
Yeah.
It was definitely needed because like
She wasn't relevant anymore.
yeah,
Games.
no, she was. Well, ever since Angel of Darkness came out, and then they tried to tie sort of that in with the film that came out at the same
It just
time
didn't
and
work,
everything like
yeah.
that. And like originally, like Lara being tailored to more being a sex symbol rather than being this iconic
Character, yeah.
strong character. Whereas recasting her as is it Claudia.
Yeah.
God, I
I can't remember who, but yeah. The
new girl that plays her,
she becomes a lot more relatable, a lot more human than, like you said.
She's grounded.
Yeah.
She's you just can relate to.
But she's also got such an interesting arc in the game as well because she's so innocent to start off with, and then is forced.
You're
into
seeing her.
this.
You're seeing her kind
It's
of
broken into.
You're seeing,
issues.
seeing her grow into what was expected of the original, but having that grounding and actually being fleshed out as a character and actually being anatomically correct.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
She won't have those back problems anymore. Yeah.
So while we're talking about Xbox exclusives, I will mention, of course, Halo 5.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Halo fan, as you can tell by Halo on my chin.
Yeah.
Extreme.
I wasn't going to mention it this time, but I'm glad you did.
An extreme Halo fan. I loved what 343 did with Halo 4.
It was good.
Halo 5, not quite so much.
Yeah.
The multiplayer suite is still fantastic. It extends beyond a lot of what Halo 4 did.
Camilla Luddington. That's her name.
It takes what Halo 4 did multiplayer wise and extends it fantastically. Having spent so long playing Crucible and Destiny, it feels weird transferring to a 60 frame per second shooter in the multiplayer. It's weird. And same with Battlefront to an extent, like the way that plays. But then coming back to a 30 frame per second game, Crucible, like Destiny, feels slow. So Halo is definitely a modern shooter. But
a modern Twitch shooter.
Story wise and character wise, it was lacking. Moving away from Chief was the worst idea because Locke couldn't carry a story if his life depended on it.
It's a shame because it was like sort of a cool concept to have that breakaway.
Well,
if it didn't work.
But it's also revisiting a concept they've already done.
Yeah.
2.
But Halo 2 worked. Halo 2 was the best in the series for me.
That's very divisive, that point. I know some people that say it's their favourite, and loads of people as well say that they dislike it.
Well, it does have
really
controversy, tattooed across his back like
that piece, though, it's well done.
Yeah.
That font.
I liked the idea of what they're doing, and to be honest, if Nathan Fillion, if Buck wasn't in it, because it was supposed to be, I can't remember his name, the character from Spartan Ops was supposed to be supposed to be not the main character, but supposed to be Buck's role in Team Osiris. But Nathan Fillion carries the entire thing. Without him, it'd be a dull as dishwater game.
Even on the Master Chief side, or do you just mean on Locke's side?
He's got 3 missions in a 12 mission campaign.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they made it sound like it was a 50-50 split.
It's not. I think it's three missions from Blue Team's perspective. The rest is Fire Team Osiris. Some of them are great. I mean, it does a lot to expand the lore. It's a good story, but the characters don't carry it.
I kind of that's the thing in the build up to this. I was hearing more about the esports side of things and more about the other than those initial trailers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The multiplayer suite, what they're doing is moving forward fantastic, and they've got their own esports category, their own MLG and not MLG, but their own
classification
of gaming. But thing that I love about that is Halo 5 has microtransactions, which are a contention talking point anyway.
It's a huge thing right now,
but it's not pay to win, so that's fine with me. But what I love about it is I'm pretty sure it's 100% of the money made from microtransactions goes to
tournament winnings,
the prize pool for the tournament winnings, which makes that such a significant thing because they're able to fund their own tournament schemes, which is a great idea.
They're controlling their own infrastructure. Right?
So what 343 are doing with the game is fantastic. It's by no means a flop.
It just feels like the story's an add-on.
The story is lacking.
It shouldn't, because I've always felt that compared to obviously comparing Halo to COD and all
Yeah.
Battlefield and stuff like that, is the fact that they primarily kind of focus on their multiplayer, whereas Halo always charmed me with
the campaign,
the campaign and the story and stuff like
And
that.
especially with
People
its,
that only play for the campaign.
yeah, especially with its own expanded universe, and they've
Yeah.
had the Escalation comic series, which is bridging between Halo 4 leading up to Halo 5, which I thought's been interesting.
Yeah.
It's focusing on Palmer and the Infinity and all that.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
It had its wow moments. It's a solid shooter, but
Your vertical drop sequence.
yeah, that's the standout point.
Yeah.
Running down the belly of the Guardian is superb. But so it's not my game of the year, but it's a great exclusive. It's great for Xbox.
So Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Cool. I cannot wait to play that game.
I'm afraid you have to.
What?
I'm afraid you'll have to.
I know. But the wait will be good. I keep telling myself that.
Craig.
Well, unfortunately, this year I have barely played any games, but
Street Fighter online.
I got Street Fighter 4 on PS4 and the beta for 5 was what. But Mortal Kombat is one that I will have to say was like. There's 2 or 3 I want to mention. Mortal Kombat, because loads of people I know who weren't particularly into fighting games have really enjoyed this one as well.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's done. It's to be honest, this is the first competitively minded Mortal Kombat. Really, 9 was competitive, but it's never had that level of technicality behind it. That's really
that comes through in X.
and that comes through in X. Like there's loads of inherent systems and ways of thinking about the game, like armor on Wake Up, and a lot of, and even the way you think about the corner in this game is incredibly intense compared to other fighting games, and the stamina bars and everything. They've got so much stuff that's kind of made it it's the one that's finally more deep. Like it's always been the shallow game out of the fighting game genres a lot of the
Sorry,
time.
my favorite, but
Yeah.
but still, yeah.
But yeah, it's because it was a game based around like people played it for fatalities and stuff like that. It had it had that
shock
shallow
factor.
nature to
so
it.
good,
It looks like a game that was entrenched in the 90s until
So
this
good.
one.
Yeah.
But they finally found a way of having both of them and making it work. And it's in season 2 of release content. It was ridiculously popular earlier in the year. By the halfway point in the year, I think it was the highest selling game.
Yeah. It's dropped off the radar a bit just now,
But even then, they've still got enough to support season 2 of their Pro League, and then as well as that, it's been a game that I've been going back and forth between all through the year.
I got it at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I got that in Fallout 4. I've played Mortal Kombat more than Fallout 4.
I'm just saying something Fallout 4 is a game that requires so many hours as well.
And I'm not sure if I'm willing to give myself into that yet.
I'm not ready for that commitment.
The Fallout series has just never been my favorite.
Oh, I've never been a huge fan of it, but I saw the trailers and the gameplay for 4 and stuff. I was like, this looks pretty good.
Well, I mean, like, it doesn't sound like it sounds like a lot, but I mean, I got 60 hours into Fallout 4, and then I was like, I kind of stopped playing it.
Yeah.
And then I never really picked it back up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. I can't say that there is a single Fallout fan at this table. Not one. Not one at all.
But all my facial tattoos.
I was about to mention Irv's massive Fallout tattoo.
My Brotherhood of Steel that covers my whole body.
The tattoo he has that says Fallout because he ran out of space because the T just impeded with his ear. Fallout. But no, Irv, you haven't played Fallout 4, but you are a big Fallout fan.
Yeah,
Did you platinum 3? Did you platinum Fallout 3?
3 in New Vegas.
Yes.
No life.
how do you kill that which has no life?
The other one I was going to say was I wanted to mention Battlefront because, to be honest, I wasn't hugely... And being the biggest Star Wars fan at this table, clearly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Greg.
Well, no, you, like, both you two... I'm surprised you didn't say Battlefront, but I can understand why, because...
It's a great game.
It is
the most authentic Star Wars game there's ever been. Partially because of the power behind it and the way it looks. But let's face it.
It looks.
There isn't a lot.
Feels like Star Wars.
It looks the part, but let's face it. It's a shallow game as
It's a very shallow game.
There's no campaign. There's no prequel campaign.
But what has made this game for me, obviously, apart from looking, sounding, and feeling like Star Wars, is
Jakku.
All these other people.
Yeah.
All these other people call you dickheads.
Stormtrooper, dickhead.
Dickhead.
But yeah, no. What's made this game has been just our sessions with it have been absolutely phenomenally good fun.
Mark's been enjoying watching from Xbox Live. No, it's the thing I have liked about it is I haven't had a ton of time this year with work and stuff, but this has been a game that I thought I wasn't really into it. I wasn't excited because when it was coming out, it was very much, this is. It's there's not much to it. There's not much details. I love the details in games. It's the reason I love Battlefield. I love like that whole idea of it. But this game didn't really have that.
Yeah.
But I've appreciated it more for that because, like you said, visually it's authentic. Sound-wise, it's authentic. They've really hit the nail on the head for that. Yeah. But it's a drop-in, drop-out game.
That's what I love about it because I can focus on other games I'm playing and then fancy a game about Battlefront.
It's your game on the side.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's been the game that you go to when other people you know are on it, or you just want kind of a casual game session.
Yeah.
And
because you can play a game or two and then be done.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think that's to its discredit. I understand that it's just a different thing from Battlefront. I've had people say how much they think I've had people say how much they think that it shouldn't be worth that much money, but it's just a different experience. It's made for the more casual gamer. It's made to be drop in, play, and you can just do it.
It's aimed at the Star Wars market.
Yeah, exactly. And I've appreciated it for that. Yeah, on the opposite side of the spectrum, for the complete opposite reason, I was really surprised by how much I've enjoyed Rainbow Six Siege. Because that was just a multiplayer-focused game. I was like...
you've got that brilliant moment that you recorded.
I've got so many ridiculous recorded moments where I failed terribly. But it's the first time I played a Rainbow game in a long time, and it's felt like Vegas. But it's all multiplayer-based, but it's been such a great laugh.
And you've got the Steelbook.
And I got the Steelbook, because I'm obsessed with Steelbooks. Yeah. My life is a Steelbook. My tattoo on my back of that gigantic Steelbook with my face on the Steelbook. But it's made so that the light's bouncing off it, so it just looks steel. It's a great tattoo. It took hours to do.
It even comes with a plastic covering.
I know, exactly. I just love it.
So the tattoos are going to be the running joke.
We're talking about jokes. It's genuine. Joke. Stop insulting my canvas tattoo. But it's the opposite. It's got so much detailing to it. The loadout things. It's weird thinking of. I love fighting games and thinking of a shooter in terms of a fighting game where it's like every operator's tiered and you have to kind of think about the situation. That and the fact that you could be hiding in a corner and think you're completely safe, and then someone blows out the wall behind you and you're dead and watching for 5 minutes. That's what I want from a game.
It's an interesting dynamic to a game.
If I'm bad at it, I watch it. But those have probably been the ones I've. Like I said, it's been a very tail end heavy year to me. I was playing more games at the end of the year. Wasn't really playing much early on. Irv,
but if you were to pick one,
if I was to pick one, it would probably be Metal Gear Solid. No, it'd probably be Mortal Kombat, to be honest, because I put the most hours into Mortal Kombat, and I've played. That's where, even though I've played Battlefront with friends all the time, me playing with Irv or playing with Tom or you, and briefly Gary, I've played Mortal Kombat with other people and just had a good laugh.
Getting pwned by Jack.
Yeah. Getting destroyed by Irv on a regular basis.
Jack's wounds.
Yeah.
I've heard that too often. But it's I'd probably say Mortal Kombat.
Good choice.
Yeah, very good choice.
Irv.
Mine's hypothetical because I haven't played any games since I'm a generation back.
Yeah, you've been PS3.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to say Arkham Knight, because that's what I'm still looking forward to picking up. For story-wise.
Fantastic game. Really good.
It was good.
Rocksteady did knock out the park with that one.
I've heard too much tank, but...
Yeah, I think that's the only thing,
Yeah. Okay, so we should probably briefly go forward to what we're looking forward to in the coming year. So the best games that should have been of 2015.
Yeah, you just cut off my hypothetical.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So, Irv, since we pretty much took up all the time with that one, if you're looking forward to the console you could be getting this next year, and the inevitable tattoo, you get to celebrate it like we do.
Yeah.
I've always needed something for my right foot.
the only.
Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to that's coming out in the next year?
I think the first thing would be picking up, if it's all been delayed. So we've had Division that's been delayed.
Yep. Uncharted,
Thief's End. Anything on your Xbox side?
No, not that I can think of.
No.
Xbox, you get your games
Yeah.
for that year in said year.
That's pretty true.
Properly developed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so you're planning on getting a PS4 this year?
Yeah.
Cool. go. You have so much
Poor choice.
goodness to look forward to. Yeah. What about yourself,
I
Mark?
was saving up for Dreamcast 2, but
Dreamcast 2 though. I might sell my PS4 to get a Dreamcast 2.
What am I looking forward to?
Yeah, what are you looking forward to, Mark?
Mirror's
and it
Edge.
can't be more Destiny.
Destiny 2, definitely. Because
yeah.
that's on the horizon
Yeah.
at the end of the year. But we know nothing about it.
Yeah,
So I can't. I can say I'm looking forward to it because it's an
We're gonna
ongoing
get it.
thing.
We're gonna get it.
It's
Yeah.
going to be more Destiny, so it's great.
Yeah.
Other than that,
That'd be great if that's what it was called. More Destiny.
With a question mark in the head.
there's quite a few things I'm looking forward to, but I go back to what I said at the start, and I try not to get too excited
hyped,
about
yeah.
games that we don't have any real information on, because I mean, well, the biggest thing for me was Colonial Marines. That was just
Yeah, but then they rectified that with Isolation, so
but that wasn't.
yeah.
That's not the point, though. I mean, just the way that was all handled. I just don't get excited about games until they're released, pretty much. But what I'm looking forward to, on principle, I guess, Mirror's Edge.
Me and you loved Mirror's Edge when it came out.
Fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. Deus Ex.
Yep.
Human Revolution was superb.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished it, but I played most of it.
I watched you a lot.
That was
I watched you a lot.
that was a sleeper hit for me because if I'm honest, I forgot about it before when it came out, and then my flatmate at the time,
It's a great game.
my flatmate at the time got it for me, and I was like, oh, this is actually really, really good.
That's another one that with the Wii U release, they changed the boss fights, because that was the one thing they outsourced was the boss fights, and it was supposedly really lacking, and they completely changed that. So I'm looking forward to see if they learn from that and just change that going forward.
Another thing that I'm looking forward to, just going on sequels, was Dishonored 2. Because the first Dishonored, and that was another sleeper hit. I mean, the style of that game, you should definitely play that. The style of that game was stunning. It was unreal, and it was something that kind of came out of nowhere for me.
That won the best game at the BAFTA Game Awards the year it came out.
So that was 2012, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
That was insanely good. So Dishonored 2 is another thing I'm looking forward to. A couple other things that I'm sure will be good, but
Doom.
Well, Doom. Andromeda, new Mass Effect.
Yeah. Still know very little about that if it's coming out this year.
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, we can't talk too much about it because it's coming, but what it'll be is unknown, because they're stepping away from Shepard and all that, because
But that's
Mass
what they
Effect
need.
3
to start fresh.
It's done.
was dire as far as story wise.
I haven't played it, only when I've not played.
Well, Mass Effect 2 is definitely the highlight.
That's
of
the
series.
best.
It's one of my
It's like Star
favorite
Wars.
games.
Like I said, you can compare them to Star Wars the way you think of them.
Exactly. So that's also another thing I'm looking forward to. And then taking a step back from the Xbox, PS4 is on the horizon for me for No Man's Sky.
Oh yes.
And Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Last Guardian.
Those are two on my list.
It's been coming for a while.
Yes.
In fact, it's now a decade. That's
All great things are.
Yeah.
Gary, have you mentioned what you're looking forward to?
Mark just mentioned No Man's Sky and Lost Guardian. I'm looking forward to them. Uncharted.
Uncharted,
Uncharted 4.
That's the final one they've said as well now.
Yeah, which is good. Like I was kind of liking the fact Naughty Dog were doing like their trilogies and then moving on and stuff like that. But it's good to give Uncharted another one. Yeah. Because 1, 2, and 3 are all great games. Probably 2 being the pinnacle. Yeah, but and 3 being probably just as good.
And then they did the collection, which they basically applied the system for 2, which was considered the best system, to 1 and 3, and improved the pacing of 1.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, they've changed a lot of stuff, because 1 has not got great pacing, and it's still not quite.
I never finished 1, but 2 was great.
Yeah, and they've applied this like shooting mechanics and everything from 2 and a lot of pacing things, and corrected 1 and 3. So it's supposedly, and they throw less grenades in 1, because all enemies did was have an unlimited supply of grenades that they kept lobbing.
That's true. So Uncharted 4, really looking forward to that, and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Good one, Gary.
Gary, I'm not 30 yet, so it's clearly not coming out.
We had this bet. We
In
actually
2004,
Right,
we had a conversation.
we played through Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 over a summer, which was a fantastic summer, really good. And then we're like, okay, when's Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out? And like Craig was like, oh, just imagine if it came out like when we're 30.
I'm 29 this year.
2 years to go for me. Come on, Square, hurry up.
It's getting eerily close.
But do you think we're getting Final Fantasy 15 this year?
Yes, but I'm worried about the episodic thing. I think.
15. That's what I mean.
No, that's what I mean. I'm worried that they could release that episodically, or they
which they're doing with the remake of 7.
I don't think they are. They've pretty much said the entire game's ready and being played now.
7.
No,
50. Okay.
7, I'm not particularly looking forward to yet because I want to wait and see with that. Because the episodic thing, it depends how they divide it, and we don't know enough yet.
Yeah,
15, I'm looking forward to, and I want it to be a breath of fresh air back in the old Final Fantasies. It's the classic numbered ones.
Yeah, they're definitely going down that whole. It's more of an action RPG rather than obviously.
But it looks like it's got the Kingdom Hearts system, which I like.
The Kingdom Hearts system works for Kingdom Hearts and for Final Fantasy. Yeah, it could work for that. I'm just a sucker for the old turn-based kind of stuff.
I
recently finally completed 7. Finally.
I don't know.
Loved it.
I'm hoping that this is a kind of trip back to that, but it will be coming out this year. They're already said they're testing it. It's doing the run-through testing, so it's going to come out. Someone's saying, rumors are it's going to be summer.
Yep. But
The Division, I like the sound of, but I think but I'm very wary of new IP from Ubisoft now.
Yeah.
Because
especially if it's a release tech demo and the game.
Yeah, exactly. UB Art out with UB Art. Their first releases of IP have not been doing particularly well, or even revisiting or redoing IP. So I'm being cautious about that. And then obviously Street Fighter V. I'm really looking forward to, and I love the fact that everyone's so deep into understanding the game because it's had 3 main betas and 2 sub betas. People have illegally got hold of it, so that hold of those beta versions, and are still playing them. So people are already incredibly good at it, and it's already developed this level of depth to it. So I'm looking forward to that. As long as they sort the Play-Doh here, I'll be happy.
Excellent.
And also whatever Telltale has up its sleeve with Batman and
the Batman game.
Telltale's release schedule, like the amount of IP they're turning into Lego.
Yeah.
They're releasing so much stuff, but
just give us Wolf Among Us season 2.
I was going to say I want Wolf Among Us season 2, but I don't see them.
Especially when it's like it was like their lesser. It wasn't really a hit for them. It's
so good, so good.
But they've got Batman Marvel this year as well.
There's rumors of Bond, wasn't there?
No, that was an IP they wanted, but they haven't said anything. But then that's the thing. There's so many things.
Get Star Wars.
Make me
happy.
Are these the droids that you're looking for?
It's how long they can.
Yes and no.
They're also working on their own original IP. They said, and it's
the Lionsgate sort of tie-in thing. So.
And it's how long they can exist off this engine and this style before people start getting a bit wary of it.
Yeah.
I was feeling a bit worried by the end of Game of Thrones, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so it's already getting to that point where people want something a bit different from them. The stories are the way they tell stories is excellent.
They're written.
It's very engaging, and their season release model of releasing these games, even though it's not regular, it's still good for what they do. But people are wanting a bit of a change, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Is there anything else anyone's looking forward to next year?
I think that's all, and then we'll see what's on the horizon. That Guerrilla game.
Oh no, I'm on the horizon. It's horizon. Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to that. But again, do you notice how almost all of these are the first? It's almost all games for the first half because the second half of the year is so hazy at this point.
Especially when it's fresh IPs or like almost fresh IPs. So.
And exactly, and games that have already been delayed we know will come out, but the ones these games haven't hit their fresh delays yet.
I mean, there's a couple other things worth mentioning, like Far Cry Primal. XCOM 2, things like that.
Yeah.
XCOM 2 is PC only though this time, I think. Yeah.
It worked better on PC. I mean, I don't know how far we're going to stray into talk about PC. But I'm excited to see the professional league StarCraft Legacy of the Void brings that.
True, and esports is going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
PC is very much at the front of esports, and we'll see how consoles have their first sort of foray into it in the next this last year, and then moving forward.
Yeah,
because Street Fighter is going to be the fighting game sort of attempt to get involved with esports.
Yeah, and
the first heavy.
Well, we had the Capcom Cup, which was which is fantastic. So yeah, it's exciting.
It's going to be interesting to see what's coming.
2016.
Yeah.
Gonna be a good year.
Come at us.
Come at 2016.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, but thank you everyone for listening, and thank you all for joining.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully see you back in a week, and maybe not 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.